Growing up in this small town, which I'd rather not name, I've had to deal with my fair share of weird, creepy things, personally. I've never dealt with anything too crazy. My town has dealt with many weird mysteries that were never exactly solved. You could expect to wake up with some bizarre headlines in the local paper every once in a while, such as farmer finds livestock slaughtered overnight or jogger vanishes on late-night jog without a trace. Of course, these are all weird and horrible events, but nothing that really bothered me. A part of me always wondered who or what was causing these happenings. But my gut always told me I should just leave it to the police, while I am a person who tries to mind my own business. The same could not be said for my best friend, Adrian. Adrian was a self-proclaimed conspiracy theorist, one way or another. He always had a conspiracy about the government or some recent tragedy. However, the one thing he always cared about more than anything was the existence of UFOs. We've all had those moments of seeing something strange. There have been moments where we've seen weird lights in the sky. But that was it. Adrian's theory was that aliens were responsible for the livestock slaughters and mysterious disappearances. Of course, I didn't believe his ridiculous hypothesis, but Adrian was my friend. I didn't want him to think I wasn't supporting him. I realize now that if only I'd told him how stupid that sounded, maybe he would have stopped there. About a month went by, and things were seemingly quiet. I decided to pay Adrian a visit, as Adrian and I would soon be heading to different colleges. We wouldn't be able to hang out as much. The moment I stepped into Adrian's room, I realized that it had been quite some time since I was last here. His room was wall to wall with notes and newspaper clippings. All of them were related to disappearances, crop circles, and UFOs. My support for Adrian had quickly changed to concern. "Buddy, maybe you're a little bit too into this," I said. Adrian looked up at me with a face of suspicion. "What do you mean?" he asked. "It seems like you might be a little obsessed with this whole alien business. Don't you think you should be focusing on college?" Just like that, Adrian snapped at me. He felt insulted that I would dare speak against his theories. I was just concerned about him. "I'll show you who's right. I'm going to Mr. Lars Acres tonight. That's close to where all those animals were killed. I was going to ask you to come with me, but never mind. If you can't support me, then I can't trust you to stick by me," he said. With that, he ordered me out. I tried to apologize to him, but he wasn't having any of it. That would be the last time I would ever see Adrian. I went home that day wondering how I would make it up to him. We'd had fights in the past, but I'd never seen him so angry, so offended. I went to bed that night with a guilty conscience. I woke up the next day to a phone that had been bombarded with a barrage of missed calls and texts. One of them was from Adrian's mother, and the rest were from Adrian. I started by calling back Adrian's mother. She answered almost immediately with a panicked tone. "Robert, have you seen Adrian? He didn't come home last night. Please tell me he stayed at your place." She said, "What? No, he didn't stay here." I said, "Adrian didn't come home. Where could he have gone?" He said he was going to the Acres. But did he stay there all night? Next, I proceeded to read the texts from Adrian. They started off with him bragging that I was missing out. They went on like that for a good while. Then, the texts turned a bit weirder. He sent me photos of the night sky. At first glance, it looked like nothing was unusual. It was just a picture of the stars in the sky. But at a closer look, one of the stars looked different. That's when I realized what I was looking at wasn't a star. It was something. The next few texts were also pictures. The same light in the sky but in different positions, meaning this mysterious light was most likely moving when the pictures were taken. The photos were almost a flipbook of the light dancing around the night sky. In between the photos, Adrian sent a text that read, "What the fuck is this?" His text became extremely excited. He wrote about how he could already see himself on CNN, how he would get a pat on the back from the greatest minds of NASA, and how he would be the one who proved the existence of UFOs with undeniable proof. Then, Adrian proceeded to send a short video. The video was him recording the moving phenomenon. In the background, I could hear the faintest buzzing noise. It was almost unheard if you weren't listening carefully. "Dude, this is fucking crazy. Did I really catch a fucking UFO?" he yelled. At that moment, something went wrong. Adrian looked off at something out of view of the camera. Then, the video stopped. There was a 45-minute space between Adrian's next and final text. This one was also a video. The video was quick and abrupt. Adrian was breathing heavily, and his face was drenched in sweat. He seemed to be hiding behind a tree or something. "Rob, listen to me. I can't talk too loud. They're chasing me. It happened so fast. It just came down from the fucking sky without warning. Listen, those pictures, those videos, I've emailed them to my alternative account. Get my computer, and prove that these fuckers are real. I don't think I'm getting out of this one, pal. Tell my mom. I'm sorry, he said. I heard the snap of stick off screen. Adrian frantically looked up as his hand moved over his phone to stop the recording. The video was over. That was the last thing I got from Adrian. Now, I get to the point of why I'm writing this. It has been about 3 months since all this happened. The only thing police ever found of Adrian was one of his shoes hanging high in a tree. Police speculated that it should have been practically impossible for him to get that high, let alone his shoe. They never found part of Adrian or his belongings. My family has been trying to support Adrian's mother through all this. The point I am telling you this is because I have a question. Since the incident, I have been able to look through Adrian's computer. There are several photos and videos of this event. There are some he didn't even send me through texts. Since then, I've noticed some officers hanging around town. They're guys in suits that claim they work for the government. I believe them, but I don't think their intentions are anything too good, whatever these beings are. They clearly do not want their existence known. Not yet at least. That brings me to my question. UFOs are real, and I have undeniable proof. Adrian's computer contains a groundbreaking discovery. These photos and videos contain 100% concrete proof of aliens' existence. However, my gut is telling me that I should make it public. Something tells me that this information would do more bad than good. UFOs are real, and I have undeniable proof. Should I keep it, or should I destroy it?